What's good, Matt Army? I am here with you today because I want to take you along the walk of our brand development journey here at Matt Marketing. So, I had the pleasure and I want to introduce to you Chroma Hair. So, I I know the owner of Chroma Hair. Her name is Kendra, and I know the owner of Chroma Hair. Her name is Kendra, and she has been someone that I've entrusted my hair to for years. Years ago, back when we were starting at mom's house doing hair in the rooms, but she's took her brand and she's grown it to Pearland's number one hairstylist. She is taking care of healthy hair, natural hair, permed hair, developing and building hair period for women. So she decided that she wanted to launch a hair oil. And of course, I'm here for it. Like, let's do it. So she asked to talk with me, and I walked along her journey and what she wanted to do and what she wanted to talk about. And so I said, okay, I'm in. Let's do it. So we developed her natural hair oil. So, in the process of going through your brand and developing your brand and what things should look like, we first start with a brand identity. So, like what it is that people will see when we talk about this item or this product or this service. And so, what it will sound like, what it will make you feel when you think about it or when you touch it or engulf you in the senses, especially because it's a hair oil. So we want to make sure that we do a full-on sense-based kind of rollout. Then we talked about the process and the process as to how people will receive it, how people will encounter it, how they will receive it, and how they will review, because that is the most important part. Also, we never want to forget to review. So that includes your checkout systems, that includes your emails, all those kinds of things. And that's a critical component that we don't want to miss when we are launching a product or even talking about our services. We need the reviews and we need to know the process in which people are going to experience what we're offering. Then, of course, we have our launch and collateral. So in the marketing world, we call it collateral, but it's just the physical thing. So what am I giving them? And in this case, we were giving them a bottle of hair oil. So talk to Kendra. She was working with someone else to develop her logo and all these things for the hair oil and bringing her vision for what the hair oil and bottles will look like. So when we started here with Blissful Blooming Curls. And then under it, you see the BBC. And so I was like, okay, this is something that we could work with. I see the curls in there because we're focusing on natural curly hair. So I get it. Well, then in talking with my team, and we're talking about development for what concepts will look like, she and I found out what BBC meant in the streets. Now, if you don't know, that's on you to Google and find out, and then delete it from your search bar. But it was something that we hadn't thought of. But that is why market research is so important, because when you're having ideas and you're viewing these things and you have all this inspiration and you just popping, sometimes you got to stop and say, hey, let me check this. Let me see, not if somebody's done it, but what it means in another sense other than what I'm bringing it to. Not saying that you're comparing, not saying that you're devaluing, but just to make sure that your messaging doesn't get caught up in somebody else's message that can derail what people think when they have your experience of your product. So we went from BBC. We had a very in-depth conversation, and she was like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because this is what I wanted it to be. And this is where, I paid for this and da. So I said, okay, let's take Blissful Blooming Curls and make that a group. We'll make that the people that actually buy the oil. They are bloomies. So they get their hair, because it's a hair stimulating growth oil. So they will show where they started. They will show where they are now. And they will be our bloomies, because we blooming strands, sis. We blooming curls. So yes, that's what we started. And then we took her already established brand and simply named the oil the Revitalizer, because that's what it did. It is revitalizing strands of hair, roots, cuticles. It is actually for you to massage into your scalp. And when you massage into a natural's head, You are stimulating growth. You are, first of all, you just stimulating and it feels so good. I literally pay for people to massage my scalp. So we named it Revitalizer. And I just want to point out, guys, that we often think that because we're doing something new, that we have to give it its new identity and its own thing. Now, that is true, but that does not mean that you cannot build on what you already have. It doesn't always have to have a new name. It could simply be ABC presents this, ABC presents that. So that way, when you are growing it, your brand, your initial brand maybe, is still established. It shows that it's branching off into something else, and you don't have to give it a new face or try to find new people for it, because sometimes your audience that you already work with are the people that need it, because that's what we create products and services for, the people that we already serve, right? Right. So back to the journey. We went and we created the Revitalizer. And y'all, I tried it on my own scalp because I have alopecia. And I was like, I'm gonna massage it on my edges because they just grow thin. And even my husband was using it in his beard. And I love this hair oil. And that is not any biasness towards, because I love Kendra, but that is the real. And so in using the product and getting to talk about the product and learn that it's natural, she took the time to go with a chemist and actually measure, look at all the oils that she wanted, basically touch and feel everything. That is what we want it to matter. And that's what we decided to use as our stance on launching the Revitalizer. So we are happy to say the Revitalizer is launched, and I want you to know that discovering what matters is the most important part about a brand or your service that you're offering. So this is just phase one, because this is just identity, but I wanted to get you guys on here so you could take this journey with me. I will be back with phase two, because that's when we get to the nitty gritty and the components that you may be missing. This may help you along your journey where you're building your product or your service. And that's what I'm here for. So I am super excited to talk about the journey of the Revitalizer. And I'm super excited that you're following Mad Marketing. So tune in for next time for phase two.